Welcome back to Brush Up Your Game. Today, we're taking a look at the Void. And the Void in Cosmic Encounter is, red for a reason. It is not a nice power, and you need some skill to kind of dance around it. The Void eradicates opponents' ships. Yes, eradicates, takes them out of the game. And aptly, the Void has the power to eradicate. As a main player, when you win an encounter, you use your power to remove the losing side ships, from the game rather than sending them to the warp, which means negotiates, don't get compensation. There's a lot of stuff that doesn't work here. Zombie can't save its ships. Lots of bad happens here. A player cannot be reduced to fewer ships than the number of foreign colonies needed to win the game, but it can be really tough trying to win your last foreign colony with one ship. And any eradicated ships that would reduce a player are sent to the warp as normal, so it's not like you just get them back. Your ships are gone. So the Void is this is a study in ship management, resource management, really. See, Cosmic has two resources that you deal with. You deal with your ships, right? You got to have ships in order to be an ally, in order to be a main player, and try to get your foreign colonies to win the game. You also have cards, right? Cards help you win encounters, help you defend yourself. These are the two resources in the game. These are two areas that a lot of powers interact with. Void is not helping you necessarily, but it is depriving other players of a very vital resource. Much like Barbarian can strip good cards and help itself win more, the Void is pulling ships out and saying, these are mine. Well, these are not yours. I guess not even these are mine. That would be fungus. These are not yours. You can't use them anymore. And now you have less ships with which to operate to try to win the game. See, even if Void eradicates 4 of your ships, now you're down to 16. Well, let's say you're trying to keep 2 on every planet. Okay, great. By the time you go for the win, you're going to have 8 ships occupied. That means you have 8 free ships. You've probably lost a home colony or 2, so now you're down to a few defending, and you probably have some ships in the warp. You see how 4 has made a difference here? If you lose to the Void a second time, say you were smarter that second time, you only lost 2 more ships. Now you're down 6 total ships. You're down to 14 operable ships. That's a big difference than somebody with 20 operable ships, usable ships. Now again, not all 20 ships are usable, but the Void really shuts down a power like Amoeba. Not that Amoeba needed any help being shut down. It hardcore shuts down Zombie because it says, yeah, your ships aren't going to the warp, so tough luck. Powers that you are grateful for being in the game are things like Healer. Healer says, oh, you're losing ships? Well, I'm going to heal those. Observer as well. Observer is immune as an ally. I guess, no, they're not sent to the warp. They're still lost. Never mind. Observer not quite as good. Still a nice idea. But the Void is mean. Not personally mean. It's ubiquitous. It just exists. And the Void makes you as a player have to consider, how are you going to commit your ships when Void is when you're attacking Void? Do you want to ally with the offense going against Void? And if Void comes to attack you, well, you'd love to make a deal, but can you trust the risk of a backstab? Probably not. And Yeah, this is a tough play. Void, Void by no means is a favorite power of mine, but it is something you definitely have to consider. Let's look at the flare. The wild, once per encounter, you may send one of your ships not in the encounter to the warp to cancel the effect of any one artifact card. That artifact card is discarded as normal. That can be very useful. Cancel out emotion control, cosmic zap, card zap, force field. Lots of good options there. I actually really enjoy the Void Wild. I think it's one of the most useful wild flares in the base set. And one of the more useful flares overall in the game. It's just something very different. It doesn't really connect to the power at all, but I enjoy seeing it. Now the super is mean. You can use your power as an ally. If the Void gets a hold of that, yeah, ships are dying and dying fast. Because now it's not just the Void when the Void's offense or defense, it's any time the Void gets invited. And the losing side is going to be in a world of hurt. That's that's just bad news for the other side. And don't get me started on multiple powers, Void and like Yin Yang, where Void could ally on both sides of an encounter. That makes me feel like Void could void their own ships. That would get very confusing and very messy, but I think it would work that way. Anyways, I don't always talk about variants. I do love multiple power games, but they get messy very quickly. Anyways, Void, worth playing, but just understand what you're in for. You are in for a messy game, and probably people not necessarily liking you partway, most of the way through a game. All right, finish it off with the flavor text. I'm not sure anything's going to be last week's, but we'll see. Taught from the vortex that no other intelligent life existed. The Voids were deeply offended to learn of alien races. Well, I would be too, if that was my upbringing. They are now on a holy campaign to cleanse the heavens of all gross material beings. Sounds like a Void. All right, hey, thank you for watching. Until next time, keep brushing up your game. Take care.